challenging process. Chemistry has played a vital role in improving healthcare outcomes and helping to treat and manage a wide range of diseases and conditions. Chemical structures of medicines are critical for their effectiveness in treating diseases and conditions. Most medicines are composed of small molecules that are designed to interact with specific proteins or enzymes in the body, altering their function and producing a therapeutic effect. The chemical structure of a medicine is determined by its molecular formula, which indicates the number and types of atoms present in the compound, as well as its molecular weight and geometry. The way in which atoms are arranged in a molecule is also critical for its biological activity. For example, a small change in the orientation of atoms in a molecule can drastically alter its therapeutic properties. To develop new medicines, chemists use a variety of techniques to study the chemical structure of compounds and how they interact with the body. This process involves synthesizing new compounds, testing their effectiveness in vitro and in vivo, and refining their chemical structures to optimize their therapeutic properties. One approach to drug discovery involves the use of computational methods to predict the structure and activity of new compounds. Chemists use computer modeling techniques to simulate the interactions between drugs and target proteins or enzymes, allowing them to identify compounds that are most likely to be effective. Another approach involves the use of high-throughput screening to test large libraries of compounds for their ability to interact with specific proteins or enzymes. Once a potential compound is identified, chemists will work to refine its chemical structure to improve its effectiveness, reduce its toxicity, and enhance its pharmacokinetic properties. Chemical modifications of existing drugs are also commonly used to improve their effectiveness and reduce toxicity. This approach involves modifying the chemical structure of a drug to optimize its pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic properties. The chemical structures of medicines are composed of small molecules that interact with specific proteins or enzymes in the body to produce a therapeutic effect. These molecules are typically designed to be biologically active, meaning they can interact with a target protein or enzyme in a specific way to produce a desired effect. Chemists use a variety of techniques to study the chemical structure of compounds and how they interact with the body. These techniques include computer modeling, high-throughput screening, and chemical modification of existing drugs. Computer modeling involves using computational methods to predict the structure and activity of new compounds. Chemists can use computer simulations to predict how a drug will interact with a target protein or enzyme, allowing them to identify compounds that are most likely to be effective. High-throughput screening is a process used to test large libraries of compounds for their ability to interact with specific proteins or enzymes. This technique allows chemists to rapidly screen thousands of compounds for potential biological activity, narrowing down the pool of candidates for further testing. Chemical modification of existing drugs involves modifying the chemical structure of a drug to optimize its pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic properties. For example, chemists may modify the structure of a drug to improve its bioavailability, reduce its toxicity, or increase its half-life in the body. Understanding the chemical structure of a drug is critical for optimizing its pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic properties. Pharmacokinetics is the study of how drugs are absorbed, distributed, metabolized, and eliminated by the body. The pharmacokinetic properties of a drug play a critical role in determining its effectiveness and toxicity. Pharmacodynamics is the study of how drugs produce their therapeutic effects.